Hey! 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 Hey!
So, hello there. This is Rick. I am here in Provincetown at Court Street Landing right now. The sun came out. Well, I thought the sun had come out, so I went out to start riding around to see if I should do some live streaming. And then the sun went into the clouds, of course. But while I was sitting by the beach, drinking some coffee, the sun came back out. So I thought I'd do this little ride. So I'm on Commercial Street heading east. I'll pause here in front of Cafe Heaven, make a quick adjustment to the stream. What was I gonna do? So I was looking for the live comments button, but it doesn't appear. Apparently because I'm streaming out to Restream over RTMP, so comments don't come in. So my plan was to have a chat phone to be able to see the chat if there's any chat going on, but I don't have that with me. This was rather impromptu, so sorry, chat. I can't see you if you're commenting. Apologize for that. This is still a work in progress. Big truck. But feel free to leave a comment in the chat. I'll check it after I get back to the house. Hi. That's one of the bummers. I'm using Switcher Studio here. This is one of my test software tests. I had been using Streamlabs, the Streamlabs app, but it was kind of not great. Quality wasn't very good. Then I tried Prism, which was good, but not great. Kind of awkward to use, and it didn't have any support for keeping the connection going. Anyway, it was okay, I just didn't love it. So now I'm trying Switcher Studio, which is a paid service and an app. And it actually lets you, I've used it before a number of times for little outdoor projects. It lets you, the whole point is it's an iOS-based app. So it provides a switcher, the name, on iOS, and then you can bring in other iOS devices as cameras, which is really cool. So if I were prepared today, I'm going to turn right here out towards the harbor, I would be able to, I would have my chat phone with me connected to the phone that I'm broadcasting from, and then I could see the chat, and then I could share you other angles. I could, you could be looking at me, not that anyone wants to look at me, but I could show you other stuff rather than just this view. I could show you what's going on my phone. We could look stuff up online. It just gives me a lot more ways to get information into a stream, kind of up the production values. So again, this is just another test. It also has a bunch of built-in almost Ecamm Live like overlays and things. Let me show you I had one up at the beginning, this guy, the Live from Provincetown. And you heard the music at the very beginning. And you can bring in graphics. You can create graphics like this. You know, this is just one of their default things. And I have my logo there, which, you know, you can resize everything. And you can do that all in-app, which is kind of handy. So you can bring in sound effects, ding ding, all that goodness. The challenge that I'm finding with all of this, you know, trying to do a decent quality stream with the stuff that I have is that I can't connect it all. So right now I'm using the Sennheiser wireless mic that I have, which is great, but that takes my Lightning port. So there's no other port to be able to like plug in a battery to keep the phone going. 'Cause that's been my biggest problem with these streams, is when I'm actually out and about, the battery on the phone dies. So yeah. So the mount that I'm using to hold the phone on the handlebars is made by Peak Design. It's really cool, it's magnetic and it latches. Really nice design. I like it a lot better than the quad lock I had been using for just popping the phone on and off. But honestly, I don't do that much when I'm actually out streaming. I want something that's sturdily connected. It turns out quad lock also makes a wireless charging accessory for the quad lock. So you put the quad lock base, I'll call it, on the on your handlebar. Then you attach this wireless charger to the top of that, and then that's what you connect your phone to. It has a USB in, so you can provide battery power, and they actually market it primarily for excuse me, for motorcycles, because you got a power source, right? But I've got a bunch of these USB charger bricks, right, kicking around. They're little batteries, and as long as you can get a high enough voltage out of them, which I have to do some testing on, you can power the wireless charging. So with that wireless charger on the quad lock, I can plug a battery into that, put the battery in my bike basket, and then I can still have my charging and my wireless mic plugged in without having to go like all dongle city. Dongles drive me crazy, all those little cables connected to cables. Here we're looking at, I'm at the end of McMillan Pier, and we are looking at an art installation known as They Also Face the Sea. Beautiful portraits of Portuguese matriarchs of Provincetown. There's one on the left-hand side of that building that you can only see when you're out on the water. So it's a nice welcome. And I always loved seeing this when I rode the ferry from Boston to here. See this person in their car parked here. A lot of folks come out here or to the other parking lots and sit and have lunch or a cup of coffee and just kind of enjoy the view. So today, it's Thursday, February 10th. It's awesome weather today, beautiful out. Something else I wanted to try with Switcher Studio here was, can I zoom in? And yes, I can. That's the 2x zoom to see the birdie sitting there. Let's see if any other birds hop up to join him, because there's a whole bunch on the ground. Apparently not. And note the direction he's pointing. That's the direction that the wind is coming from. That's the 1x zoom, and then this is the wide angle, which I don't think I'll actually use very much. It's a little too crazy action cam. Back to 1x. Oh, see, another bird did join him, so I'm going to zoom in. Hello birds. So this switcher also allows you to use so you can switch between the cameras that are, the lenses that are on your camera. So you do a selfie view if I want to, which I don't really want to, because you'd just be looking at my stomach. Another pretty view of town. I'll do the zoom here. The nice thing about using the iPhone is its optical zoom, and the stabilization is really nice. So for someone like me with shaky hands, I can actually show stuff without you feeling like you're in an earthquake. Pretty view of the library. The library was built as a Methodist church originally, so that's why it looks like a church. So anyway, the wind's picking up here. So it's 48 degrees it's 2:15. It's almost low tide. Winds are about 15 miles an hour. I forgot to put on a pair of gloves, so I'm just getting a little chilly. I'm heading down the pier back into town. That is the Pilgrim Monument there on the left. It commemorates the landing of the Mayflower in 1620. They came here before they went on to Plymouth. They didn't stay though. So that was built in 1910, opened in 1913. Kind of neat. The tallest all-granite block structure in the United States. It's a copy of an Italian tower. Even has the gargoyles, which is a bit of a non sequitur when you're talking Mayflower pilgrims, but it's a pretty tower, and you can climb all the way up to the top. It's 200 steps to the top. Takes about 10 minutes to get up there. There's a viewing deck at the base is the Provincetown Museum, all run by a nonprofit. So on these random rides, you essentially get, excuse me, a bit of a pothole. My bike tours that I'm not doing anymore. A little bit of too much information, but it's really my way to get outside, share the town with people, and still maintain my 6-foot distance and social isolation. So here I'm turning right along Commercial Street, heading into the East End. So since it's February, most everything is closed. We had a snowstorm that you can see over on my Ptown Insider Facebook page or on my Ptown Insider YouTube. We had quite the snowstorm, about 2 feet of snow, so there's some remnants of that around, not too much. I wonder too what people think when I'm riding around talking. There's no one there, because it is a small town. Whatever. You can see the open flag there on the left for the library. One of the nice things about the library is actually open 7 days a week. In non-COVID times, it's back to being open 7 days a week. And that's pretty rare for a small town library. It's beautiful, it's huge, it's incredibly well stocked. Oh, it's dark. The clouds are dark up ahead and it's sunny behind me. Big old Chevy truck coming at me. I'll pause and let these trucks by. Sure. So if you've never been to Provincetown or been on or experienced one of my little videos here before, Commercial Street is two-way for bikes. It always has been, except for a couple of times when they've tried to enforce one way, which didn't work. It's only been one way for cars, really since the 60s consistently. So you can go two ways on a bicycle, because the only parallel street has quite a few hills on it. And this is also our main drag, so if you couldn't go back and forth, you'd be zipping around in circles, going up and down the other side one-way streets. So for the most part, because this is, legally two-way for bikes, folks who come and visit and locals treat pretty much all the one-ways as two-way streets, which is common in Europe. Not so much in the United States, although they've started to do that more. Sometimes riding a bike on the street is like you get to be a traffic cop as well. Letting a couple of cars by. So yeah, not much open. Galleries are all closed. You can see the sign, I think, on the left for Ciro and Sal's. They're open at least weekends. It's a lovely kind of grotto of an Italian restaurant. Very authentic Italian, at least to my taste buds. A lot of seafood-inspired dishes. That's, you know, what you get here is seafood in a coastal town like this. But so there's not a lot for a vegan Rick to be eating. But restaurants have also gotten amazingly expensive. I was looking at a menu for somewhere. Oh, for the steakhouse, for Ross's Grill. Every main course. I mean, it's a nice restaurant, and they do a really nice job. But it's like corporate. Every entree was at least $32. Maybe I'm just out of touch because I haven't been traveling and I don't really eat out anymore. That just seemed exorbitant. Anyway, it's a beautiful day. So I think those dark clouds ahead are the ones that were just here. Since the wind is out of the south-southwest. Pushing those away. Passing WOMR, the local radio station, which is in the Eastern Schoolhouse. Was a schoolhouse. I'm going to turn right here into the parking lot at St. Mary's. This is an Episcopal church. Doesn't look much like a church from this side, but it is. There used to be a set of wooden stairs here to get over the seawall to the beach, but they washed out during a storm, and I guess the church decided not to put them back. Some days I wish I had a gimbal on this so that I could keep the horizon level for when I'm showing folks videos like this, but so if you've just joined, this is Rick with Pedal Ptown and Ptown Insider. I am live streaming from Provincetown, Massachusetts, at the very tip of Cape Cod on the east coast of the United States. Riding around on my bicycle. It's February and it's almost 50 degrees. Thank you, climate change. Not really. So we just had a wicked storm a few days ago, and now, snowstorm with 20 degree Fahrenheit and below. I'm sorry, 20, yeah. So 20 is like -4 Celsius for those of you who aren't in the United States. We're the only ones who still use Fahrenheit for temperature, I think, these days. So I'm in the east end of Provincetown. I just passed Howland Street, going down Commercial, which is our main drag. Most of the houses that you see were built in the late 1800s, with the exception of the 3-story motor lodge there on the left and the right. That was very controversial when it was built, but it predates the town's historic district regulations. And they wouldn't be able to build anything like that today, or it would be very unlikely. I'm just out zipping around So I wanted to see what the battery life would be. So I'm just using my phone on its battery. So typically it's about 20 minutes, and I'm at the 20-minute mark on this live stream. So we will see how it goes. If I just disappear, it means my battery's died, so I apologize in advance. So this is streaming out to Ptown on YouTube and to Ptown on Twitch. Apologize to folks who are watching that I can't see the chat. I did not plan this stream properly, so I'm just out and about without my chat phone. So leave a comment. I will say hello when I get home. Or if you have any questions, things you'd like to see in future videos, let me know. I'll see if I can make that happen. I'm looking at the battery indicator and it looks like I'm getting really low. I've noticed when I'm streaming and I get a low power mode alert, it dies within a few seconds after that. So I'm going to turn around down here at what's variously known as either the split or the merge. That's where Bradford Street and Commercial Street combine, and Commercial Street continues on to the town line with Truro. You can see a little bike wayfinding sign there. McEwee. I do want to point out one thing. This house that I'm going to show you in a second was a location in American Horror Story double feature in the Red Tide episodes that took place here in town. So if you would like, or if you're interested in me doing a ride around to show a number of those locations, I'd love to do that if I get another good day like this. I have it available as a tour as well for anyone who's interested. ptowninsider.co. It's a mobile app tour using the Built Story app. Really nice folks at Built Story. It's cheap, it's easy to use. You kind of want to be in town though. It's kind of the whole point. But it's all narrated, you get to hear me talk. You get pictures, some little video clips here and there. This year I'll be adding a little bit of a scavenger hunt element to it, just for the heck of it. Whee! So I'm not gonna be tour guide anymore. I'm gonna try not to. I'm just gonna head home. And if you are curious about Provincetown or interested in visiting someday, take a look at ptowninsider.co or my Ptown Insider channel on YouTube, and you can see some of my travel tips. I made a bunch of postcards from Provincetown shorts on YouTube last year. They're kind of fun. Just pretty vistas of things around town. So my next stop is the East End Market, corner of Bradford and Howland Street. Should be there in about 2 minutes. I've also thought about doing a ride along the Provincetown bike trail. I'm not sure what cell signal is like out there, but if that's something you'd like to see, let me know in the comments, in the chat. February is not a great time to be doing a ride on the bike trail just because it's February and it's a recreational trail, so it's not maintained in the off season, which is pretty much October to June. But I may do it anyway. So I have a headwind here, so it's taken a little more effort than I'd expected. We're passing St. Mary's, and that's the schoolhouse, the Eastern Schoolhouse building right up ahead. I'm going to take this right onto Howland. If you notice this tree, it has a sign behind it that you can't see that says dangerous intersection. So if this actually were a very dangerous intersection, that sign is not helpful, but because it's behind a tree, so you can't even see it. It's also on the left-hand side of the road, which, they just put signs where they can. Hello. So here we are at the East End Market. I'm going to end here. If you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments or in the chat. And I'll see you next time.